Holy crap, we made it. That is one of the roughest roads I've ever had to drive up. That was about 20 minutes getting bounced off the ceiling and sides of this poor little not so four-wheel drive type vehicle, but we survived. And check out the view. That's something. That's some nice clear air. It looks like there's some good lift out there too, looking at that other glider flying around. Once you're in the air, the feeling is incredible. There's no airplane around you, so your view is unparalleled. There's no engine. The only noise is the wind going by. You can talk to the pilot sitting behind you just like you're having a normal conversation. There's no need for fancy electronics, communications gear, anything like that. You're so much more connected to the environment this way. You feel every little bit of lift that comes along, every gust of wind. This must be what it feels like to be a bird. One of the things that really surprised me about these gliders was the maneuverability. Now, I don't know what our turn radius was, but it felt like we were pivoting in place. And I know there's no way that I could have got as close to these mountains in my Cessna 150 as we were in these gliders. And I'm pretty sure the pilot could have got us a lot closer if he really wanted to, but being this is kind of a tourist thing, they need that extra margin for error. Here, where we're setting up for landing, also really surprised me just how many G's that you could pull in one of these gliders, and I'm sure we could pull a lot more than this. But he started with a couple of gentle turns, and then suddenly he pulls a 4G turn in there to bring us around to get us set up, and I wasn't even expecting that. I'm holding on to this GoPro, and suddenly this GoPro's getting real heavy on the end of the stick. And I almost needed two hands to hold this thing. So I'm very surprised at the agility of these gliders. This is beyond what any of the general aviation airplanes that I've ever flown could ever do. So landing is very different from what I'm used to as well. In a general aviation airplane, the approach angle is about 3 degrees. One of these gliders, it's probably more like 30 degrees. The pilot had told me ahead of time where we were going to touch down, but I kept thinking we're going to overshoot and wind up in the trees beyond that point. In fact, we didn't. We touched down right where he said we were going to. And the touchdown is, well, obviously going to be different too because there's no landing gear. There's instead the big, I don't know, I guess it's some sort of a cushion or something underneath the harness, and you just kind of keep your feet up and plop down on your butt. I don't think we even skidded or anything. We survived! We are back! And hopefully I'm holding this camera steady enough because, wow, I'm shaking, excited, weak in the knees. I was like flying for the first time. We're just up there on top of that mountain. There's our landing site. This is my pilot. I'm sorry, what was your name again?
My name is Shinji.
Shinjin. I don't know what else to say. I'm speechless. That was amazing. I mean, to look down between your feet, straight down to the ground. No airplane between you. No floorboards, nothing like that. Just your feet, then sky, then treetops, and it was like flying for the first time. I got to get one of these things. And thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can't wait to do this again. I'm back at the train station. The flight's over, but I'm hooked. I got to do that again. It's different flying these than it is a fixed wing. You can't just sit in and wait for the instructor to get you in the air. You're involved in it. So you've got to move with the instructor, and when he tells you walk backwards, you're walking backwards, and you stop, and then it's forward, and you run down the side of this hill, and you basically run into the air. You got to wait until you're good 10-15 feet up in the air before you even try to sit down. And that's where I kind of screwed up on there. It took us 4 tries to get into the air. On the first try, I actually slipped and wound up kind of doing a face plant. Maybe it's a good thing there isn't video of that. The second try, the wind shifted on us. Not much we can do about that. The third try, I sat down too soon, and we wound up about 40 feet down the side of the hill, lying on our sides. But hey, whatever, no blood, no foul. Fourth try, we got up into the air, and it's kind of a weird feeling because you're sitting there suspended from the straps. You're not in the seat. You've got to wait for the instructor to tell you to get in the seat, and he's got to be ready. So and after that, it's amazing. So if you've never done this before, you really got to try it. Yeah, I can't wait to do this again. I got to get one of these things. No two ways about it. I'm selling my Cessna. I'm buying a paraglider or a paramotor, one of the two. Maybe paramotor. There's more places you can fly those. So.